And now let's welcome our next fighter to the cage. Out of the red corner, Chris the Jungle Johnson.
All right, so DK Watts was not successful in getting the victory there for Top Notch. How do we feel about Chris Johnson now, also out of Top Notch?
Yeah, I think this is his opportunity to turn the tide a little bit for his team. Chris Johnson comes to us, and this is 24th, that's right, 24th mixed martial arts bout as a professional. He's a guy that's been there, done that, heavy hands, pro boxing experience. He's fought in bare knuckle and BKFC. He's a guy he's really a fighter's fighter, and he's going to come in here to bite into his mouthpiece and look to get the job done. He's taking on Tyrell Hill, another one of these fighters coming to us all the way from Wildside. It's a tall task. Tyrell Hill, we talked to him a little bit beforehand. He's ready to make waves here inside the cage, but Chris Johnson is a tough customer to do that against.
And let's be real, if you are willingly entering a bare knuckle boxing fight, tough does not even begin to describe you.
Yeah, you're a unique character, my friend. With bare knuckle really booming nowadays, it may be popular, but it takes a specific kind of fighter to say, yeah, I'll go in there with no gloves. Chris Johnson, one of those guys. But back into what he knows, into what he's most comfortable in, into the mixed martial arts cage. He's a guy that's won by brutal knockout. He's got submission finishes. Now trying his hand inside the EFN cage against Tyrell Ace Hill.
And now let's welcome his opponent, fighting in the blue corner, Tyrell Ace Hill.
All right, Ace Hill, his opponent, representing Wildside MMA. You'll see his coach, Mike Merriman, walking him down the ramp towards the cage. We had a great conversation backstage with Ace Hill earlier tonight. You know, we talked about this fact that he's coming in from out of town. The crowd is not necessarily going to be in his favor as a result, and he just said, you know what, I'm used to being the bad guy.
Yeah, really embracing the situation, kind of leaning into the possibility of playing spoiler. Ace Hill just on a real run lately, 3-1 in his last 4 fights, all via KO or TKO. I'm sure he's looking to keep the ball rolling here at EFN.
Let's take a look at the tail of the tape, brought to you by Capital Nutrition, discount vitamins and supplements. Johnson with an inch on Ace Hill, even weight, but what you have here is a long fighting record. He hasn't been that successful, Johnson, at 8-15 versus Ace Hill at 3-2, but 23 total fights. Even if you haven't won them all, you have so much more experience and so many more lessons to draw from, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And Johnson is a person that has taken all comers along the way. He's fought guys like Antonio Sanchez, beating them via guillotine. He's fought Askar. He's fought the viral Keith Lee, brother of Kevin Lee. He's been there against some really big names. So when you look at that record, it's not necessarily indicative of how high level an athlete, what a tremendous fighter Chris the Jungle Johnson is. And I'm sure he's looking to make his presence felt tonight.
Let's head up to the cage for the introductions with ring announcer Mike Vale.
Let's get the action started. Our next bout is in a catch weight of 130 pounds, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of El Popo Tortillas, red corner. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, official weight 131.1 pounds. Representing Top Notch from South Bend, Indiana, please welcome Chris the Jungle Johnson. And now let's welcome his opponent, fighting out of the Goji Resistance Apparel, blue corner. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, official weight 130 pounds. Representing Wildside from New York, let's welcome Tyrell Ace Hill. Referee in charge, Rob Hines.
All right, we've got Ace Hill up against Chris the Jungle Johnson, 130 pounds.